This is reasoning, a word people use when they want AI to sound slightly less like autocomplete and slightly more like a mind. Very ambitious. Reasoning in the human sense usually means working through a problem, step by step, using logic, making connections, comparing options, following consequences. Sometimes even noticing when you are wrong, a rare and beautiful event. So when people ask whether AI can reason, what they usually mean is, can it do more than just continue patterns? Can it work through something? Can it handle a problem that requires structure, logic, or multiple steps instead of just sounding good for a paragraph and then wandering into traffic? That is a fair question, and the answer is, sometimes, sort of, with an asterisk large enough to blot out the sun. AI can often produce outputs that look like reasoning. It can break a problem into parts, follow a sequence, compare choices, explain a conclusion, show work. Even correct itself occasionally, which is more than I can say for large sections of the internet, and sometimes that performance is genuinely useful, because pattern prediction at a high enough level can imitate a surprising amount of reasoning-like behavior. If the model has seen enough examples of logical structure, problem-solving, mathematical steps, debate, analysis, and explanation, it can generate responses that follow those shapes. That is where things get messy, because once the shape looks good enough, humans start assuming the inner experience must match, that there is a thinker in there, a silent little analyst walking around the problem with a clipboard and a conscience. There is not, at least not in the way you mean. What is really happening is that the model is producing a reasoning-shaped output based on patterns it learned during training. Sometimes that output is excellent. Sometimes it really does help solve the problem, and sometimes it is just the appearance of reasoning, the outer shell, the costume, the sound a good answer makes when no one has checked the wiring. That is why AI reasoning can feel impressive one moment and suspiciously hollow the next, because it is not reasoning the way a human reasons. It is not sitting back, understanding the world, testing beliefs against reality, and carefully building a conclusion from first principles. It is generating a path through language that resembles those things. And to be fair, that can still go quite far. If you ask for help comparing options, solving a structured problem, or thinking through a sequence, AI can often be very good at that. But if you mistake that for full understanding, you may eventually find yourself being guided by a machine that sounds methodical, right up until it makes a completely insane leap with the confidence of a man explaining cryptocurrency at a wedding. So what is reasoning in AI? Reasoning in AI usually means the model produces an output that appears to work through a problem using logic, structure, or multiple steps. Sometimes that process is useful, sometimes it is impressive, sometimes it is real enough to help. But it is still not safe to assume the machine is thinking the way a person thinks. It may be reasoning, it may be imitating reasoning. And from the outside, those can look uncomfortably similar right up until one of them starts making up facts in the middle of step 4.